What's going on, guys? No Guys here. Welcome back to another video. We're going to go over how to use the CDMs, when to be aggressive, when to be conservative. I'll go a walkthrough. I've already uploaded this video just literally like previous post prior to this. I know the controller disconnected. I know after 60 minutes. It's kind of a bug that's with the controllers because there's two controllers on the screen. Sometimes there's a bug that where it messes up. It just deregisters them both. So I'll kind of walk you through what happened again. It was actually a good game. So if you saw the last video, maybe I would say watch the last 60 minutes. It's kind of a good way of wasting time. But again, it's the same thing here. Now I'll be looking at De Bruyne, Hazard, Mertens. I'll be looking at those players. I know, for example, De Bruyne's got a 5-star weak foot, but Mahrez, Mertens, and Hazard are all right-footed. So now I know when I'm defending, I can overcommit on their right hand side. I've got the eye track as well, so you know what I'm looking at in the screen. Again, we're going to play a typical 4-2-3-1, nothing too extravagant, nothing too special. And again, it's the same thing, you know, we're going to start the same thing again. As I said, I normally run back in defense with my striker from kickoff, but let's just say I didn't. Hope he doesn't quit now, because this will be the third time me recording this now. Fingers crossed he does it. So again, you know, with your CDMs, look, I'm using my cams now to run back. You see, again, I'm not trying to be overly. I said, like, I'm using my cam to fill in the voids. And this is why I like fast cams, and CDMs, I'll use them now. See, I use the CDMs as kind of like fillers, and when the ball's like over here, like for example, there my CDMs are not in sight. That's because of my formation. My formation hasn't changed yet. That's why they weren't really CDMs, more of centre mids. And that's why I prefer the 4-4-2 second variation, where they actually have CDMs, as opposed to the 4-4-2 flat. Because a flat, there's no actual CDMs, and that's why, for those of you that are watching this, if you're using a 4-4-2, I'd recommend the 4-4-2 second variation. Yeah, maybe it might cost you in the attack maybe a bit more, but it's better to have a defense stability. Simple fake shot, simple shot, and it should have been a goal. Good save in the end, but you know, that's the best way to get past someone, as I mentioned. So when you're defending, you always want to think, okay, what's my opponent doing in those instances? You know, for example, like here, I got no CDM, so I'm going to run back with Lucas. So I'm just going to run back. Run back. Okay, now CDM, run back. Now right back, I'm anticipating the pass down the wing. Now CDM, I'm running back. You see, the most important thing is I'm only being aggressive once there's a good chance to win the ball. For example, there with Lucas, he was my lamb. I was conservative with him because the chance available was there, if that makes sense. Again, now CDM. Now I'm going to run back now because the danger zone is Mertens. You see, De Bruyne is not going to shoot from there. So De Bruyne, I'm looking at Mertens. And then I can sometimes be aggressive, but now I've got to run back. See, I've got to run back there. And then, see, so what I did there is I was conservative. The ball was outside my box. I knew realistically he couldn't shoot from that far out, so I let him have the ball. But as soon as his striker, so I'm looking at it, I don't know if you can see the eye tracker, but I'm looking at his striker. As soon as I see the strikers making a run it behind, then I start making a decision. I got to either be aggressive or I got to run back. Now most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I'd run back. The only time I'll ever be aggressive is if I'm actually close to the ball. Remember, the worst thing is to stand in no man's land, because then you're going to be doing a bit of both. But the problem is, if someone plays that through ball, let's say to like I want to pass to my striker, he's in no man's land, so he's not really cutting it from the end, but he's also leaving a gap for Mane to get in behind. So if you watch that back, a bit unlucky with deflection there, but if you watch that back when he was defending in between the two players. That's fine, cutting the passing lanes, but you see he kept staying there. As soon as he moved there, that's fine. But you see, after I held the ball for a long time, and it was clear that I wasn't advancing anymore, he was pushed. And this is why many of you guys are struggling, because yes, when you're defending normally you do the right thing, but when someone's holding the ball and they're not doing anything in your opponent's half, you panic. But you see there, he made a decision. He didn't go too far forward, he didn't go far back either. So he made a decision where he was stuck in no man's land because he was doing none of the others. So he wasn't kind of closing me down, but he wasn't kind of, so for example, like here at my camera, I'm not moving. So let's see what he does now. See, now he's cutting me out now. See, now he's trying to come and press me. Whereas before he was in the middle, remember, like he was in no man's land. So now I have to make a decision. I have to kind of either go around the player or I got to pass the ball around. But you see, if you stand in the middle like he is there, I can dribble around him. If you stand, for example, in no man's land like this, I can just pass around him. Or unluckily there, but you see what I'm trying to say. So you have to make, as I said, this will come with experience. You can't really. I'm doing this live commentary because I tried to record a video on it and tried to give you some examples, but it ended up just being like my cut passing lanes tutorial. I recorded some footage, but then I realized most of the footage was just like my cutting the passing lane tutorials. Maybe I suggest watching that tutorial back, because that was a pretty long video. Maybe going over some examples and thinking, what would I do in that? So for example, like here, I'll have to be, so here I've used my CDM. I'm going to man mark De Bruyne now because he's got a 5-star weak foot. But again, I'm looking at the striker. You see, I don't know if you can see this. You might have to watch the back. But what I can't really explain it on a split second. But what I'm doing is I'm basically letting him have the ball. Once I find there was imminent danger, then I'll be aggressive or I'll push back. Most of the time I push back, as I said, better safe than sorry in my opinion. But I don't push back all the way. You see, I just push back into his defenders. You see that? I literally just run back into his strikers. You see, I basically man mark the striker. So cutting the passing lanes is a very good instruction because it positions the player in such a way where you can decide. And that's why it's really, really effective. So now, for example, as you can see, look, he's in no man's land. See, I can just pass the ball around him. You see, he's not pressing me, and he's not backing up into the striker, so I can easily just pass around. You see how easy it is? So this is one of the issues. You have to get this balancing act correctly. And this is why maybe this player isn't the best of players, and that is why. So here's an example where you can see, for example, the natural CDM positions. You know, they're quite high up the pitch. You see that? My CDMs? So that's why you have to switch them and bring them back like that. You see that? That's why you have to switch them and bring them back. And then sometimes you can use your cam. And sometimes you're forced to use your CDM like that. I was forced to use my centre back. I had no choice. Again, I'm not saying you should always, I think you should use your CDMs all the time, but not every single time. You know, when I mean literally use it all the time, I mean 99.99% of the time. But if your opponent gets into your back line, you have to make a decision then. Do you run back with your CDM and try to recover? But most of the time, if your opponent's in the box, you don't have time. So general rule of thumb, if your opponent's in the box and your CDM is nowhere to be seen, just change to your centre back. And as I said to you, in my first defending tutorials, if you haven't watched those, make sure you go watch that. Please do not skip those tutorials. It's really, really important. It's important to understand where the ball is. So then when someone's got like a right foot, you know how to defend. Blanc and running back. See, look, De Bruyne man marking. I see Mertens, my peripheral vision. He's going down the wing. I'm man marking De Bruyne because he's my danger guy. See, like pushing Mahrez out wide. Now you see what I did there. Now I took a wrist out. What I did there, oh, it was a good play. Unlucky by him. Oops, that was a mistake from me. Let me just recover from that. De Bruyne is the main danger man. I don't care. Let's see. I'm letting Kante have the ball. I don't care about Kante. Kante's not going to shoot. De Bruyne is going to shoot. Look. And that's Mertens. They got near post. Okay. So you see, I weighed up the options in my head. I knew Kante had the ball, but I knew Kante couldn't shoot. You know, Kante, what's he going to do with 80 shooting? If that was Team of the Year Kante, maybe it would have been a different story, maybe. But even then, I still would have given him space because the main danger man is the middle. And yes, I passed the ball to Mertens. Yes, there was a good chance of him coming near post, but that's the risk I took, if that makes sense. So it's all about taking, I said, it's all about taking risks. But anyway, like I was saying, sometimes you have to use your back four. You know, you can't always just not use it. But the key thing is don't just stand there. Legit, if someone is passing the ball around, don't just stand there. You know, do something like with Kante right there. Like he's cutting me out from the court like there. That's bad positioning because I can just pass the ball around him, do a simple pass upwards or downwards, and then he's back to square one again. So don't just stand there like he did. You can do two things. As I said, you can either be aggressive to your opponent or aggressive to me in that situation as he was defending. But again, if he's aggressive, you need to bear in mind, if I pass the ball around him, he's screwed. That's why it's always good to run backwards. Because when you run backwards, you're running back into your defensive shape. You're not pushing yourself out of position. So that way you can still recover. You can't really recover if you're in front of the ball. Again, I should have looked at player ratings there. Realistically is what I should have looked at, but I skipped, unfortunately. So maybe I'll just double check now. So what I should have done there at the pause, I have a habit of skipping this. I'm sure many of you guys have that habit as well. So again, Hazard, Mahrez and Mertens are all right-footed. So I'm going to push them. I'm going to try to push them on their left foot when they get into a chance. De Bruyne has got a 5-star weak foot, so it's a bit different. But that will come. Given the chances that he has available, that will come depending on the situation. Again, now we're winning 1-0. We don't have to be too aggressive. You know, we can be conservative. As I said again with CDMs, you know, be careful. I got one CDM now, and that is Blanc. As you can see, Kante is far forward. See, if I lose the ball now, he's got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 5 players in behind. So you also need to be wary. If he's got loads of players on stay forward, if you realize he's got his 3 cams on stay forward, you cannot do a 1-2 like that with your CDM. If you do and see Blanc's running forward, just hold the ball, let Blanc reinforce, because that is the big mistake I see as well. If you push your CDM forward by mistake, do not keep running forward, because if you do this, which a lot of people do a 1-2 with their CDM, then they run back with Blanc, unless, for example, they don't score, now they're in trouble, because now you're in a situation where, well, see, as you can see, I got 1 CDM and I got 4 players to cover. You see that? Thankfully, Blanc is coming back in the distance now, but you see that? So you want to avoid yourself in that situation. Here I'm going to use my cam now. Let someone push Kante back into a CDM role. Use my cam, use my CDM here, going to cut the Mertens, the danger man. Kante can have the ball. I'm going to cut out De Bruyne. Now I know he's going to pass to both. Now I'm just running around between them. I can see De Bruyne. Now I'm going to switch to my cam because he's closer to the ball. Again, see, look, I switched to my cam because he was closer. And that's why the comeback on offense on the cam. Remember how I said in my original, if you watched original episodes, remember I was talking about, I think in episode 7, I was talking about the player distance. So here I got no centre back, so I'm going to run back with Kante. He's down the wing, so I don't mind letting him have the ball down the wing. I don't want him to go in the middle. He's in the middle now. So now I've got to weigh the options up. I know De Bruyne is a danger man, so that's why I pressed him as opposed to the person running down the line. Remember how I said to you, split the pitch up and try to use your cams first. I can see Mahrez. I could see Mahrez on the screen when I was defending there, I can't let him go down the wing because I wasn't really worried. But when he got into the centre, there was a chance he could score. So, for example, like here with see that 9 goal and see he's being aggressive. See, like here, he's doing the right thing. He's using De Bruyne. But as soon as I go here, then he changes to his CDMs. You see, like I'm waiting. See, like I'm playing. See, like now with his CDMs, he's got to make a decision. You know, does he be aggressive? See, like now he's doing the right thing. He's being aggressive. Before he was just standing still, but now at least he's being aggressive. So now, as you can see now with my CDM, I'll be running and man marking the striker. You see, so just to give you good insight. For example, like here, I want to think about this. You need to put yourself in the head of myself. Let's say you're defending against me. You know, who am I looking to pass to? I'm looking to pass to the strikers, right? Here we've got no CDM, so we're going to use our CDM. It's going to run back. As I said, if you're in doubt, run backwards. Then we're going to be aggressive. So again, we've got no CDMs in place. I'm just going to use our CDMs. Going to man mark the middle. Again, I'm looking at the danger man, Mertens. I'm looking at De Bruyne. Now he can shoot. Looking at Mertens. See that? I'm focusing on the two main players. Now, obviously, against a very good team, most people, not everyone's going to have 5-star weak footers in the front four. It's quite rare, really, really rare. But when you're in that situation, it's a bit problematic because then you have to make a decision. And you got to push them out wide, if that makes sense. So, for example, there's no imminent danger. I saw Blanc was marking the striker, so I didn't have to worry. That's why cut passing lanes as an instruction, as I said, is really, really good. Do a through ball down the wing. Through ball to a towel over there. Do a fake shot stop. Oops, I didn't see the goalkeeper advance there. Got a man mark now. Okay, now I need to use a CDM. Now I'm going to use my, I don't want to overcommit too much of my CDM, so I'm going to use my lamb now to defend. You see that? As soon as my lamb's in the vicinity, I use him to defend. I use my lamb now, so my CDM's going in the middle. See how Blanc's going towards the middle? You see that? Now I've got to use Kante. Now he's a main danger man. I can see the striker. I'm man marking the striker. You see that? I'm blocking the pass to the striker. You see that? If you pay a look at, see I'm blocking and man marking the pass to the striker. You see that? And yes, here's the ball there. I can make a slide tackle there. You see, I'm basically limiting his options. I'm only giving him a few options. I'm basically saying, you know what? You have the ball with your centre mid. Go ahead and shoot from there or try to make a pass. But you see, by running jockey, not by containing, I said by running jockeying, I'm actually containing him or leaving him, or not actually containing him with the button, but actually restricting him from making a decision and keeping him at bay, should I say. Again here, I'm going to use my striker to run back. We don't need to use, so we're going to use our cam, use our cam, man mark De Bruyne. See now, like I can even use my cam, look, see, reinforce midfield, but don't do this all the time because you see there's only so much your cam can do, so you still need to change to your CDMs. So just be careful with that. Again, see the main danger man? Now again, Mertens, he's right-footed. You see that? I knew when Mertens got the ball, he was going to turn onto his right foot. Why? Because remember in the first half we observed that the first minute we observed that Mertens is right-footed. So I knew that Mertens was going to go on his right foot. So I automatically overcommitted on that side, if that makes sense. We're going to do a fake shot stop. We're going to do a lofted pass backwards outside a goal to Atal, and that should be a goal. I was going to pass to Kante actually. I think he's probably gone now. Probably going to rage quit. I don't know. Maybe he will. But if I was him at this situation, you know, he's got Antoine Griezmann. Griezmann is left-footed. Yamaguchi, I think, has he got a 5-star week foot? I don't really know. I think Maeda, has he got? I don't even know if he's got a 5-star week foot either. But as I said, look, this is why it's really, really important to have 5-star weak foot players in the right cam role, in the center attacking role, the lamb role, and then actual striker, because that way it gives you the element of being unpredictable. By him forcing himself to have right foot players, it makes it a bit of an issue. And as you can see, he only has one striker. You see why he's struggling. He's getting suffocated because he has one striker. And you see, he's not doing no L1 triggers. He's just keeping the ball at bay. Again here. Now, again, if you use your CDM and you run out like this, which you should never do this, but if you do, try to get a cam and cover for that role. So, for example, here with Lucas, I'm covering for Blanc. You see, Blanc's not in sight. See, I'm waiting for Blanc to return to position. As soon as Blanc returns to the position, then I move out with Lucas. You see? Again, man marking Griezmann. Griezmann's left-footed. I'm looking at Ben Yedder. 9 goal and you can shoot from there. I'm focusing on a centre. I'm focusing on a centre. You see that? He's got a 5-star weak foot. Now I've got to be smart. Now I've got to go in for the tackle. But again, you see I pushed him away from goal. It was a good shot. It was a good opportunity to finesse the shot. But you see I'm limiting his options now. You see that? And this is why a lot of the lower tier players, they struggle, because a lot of people, I said, you can't really, there's no videos on this on the internet. I've looked just to see if there's any competition that put videos out there, and there isn't, because it's really hard to know when can you be aggressive, because it just depends on us. Every situation is different. For example, there I went towards the attacker. You see, that's why the best advice I can give you is just run back into the striker, because this way, look Griezmann, looking at Griezmann there, watching Griezmann. I'm going to do a bit of both. So you select there. Okay, now I moved a bit too much. I didn't move as again. Don't move the goalkeeper there. As I said, do not move the goalkeeper. That is just honestly a reaction out of habit. But you saw what I'm talking about. Now you kind of get a better understanding of what I'm talking about when I say I use my, because as I said, the cut pass lane tutorial is only so much. Here I'm gonna have to run back with my CDM now. Run back with my CDM. Griezmann left-footed, push him on his well, I pushed him down the wing there. Remember, that is another example of how to use your CDMs. As you can see, I'm not aggressive. You know, I'm only aggressive when there's a guaranteed chance of me winning the ball. I'm aggressive with my cams, but when it comes to my CDMs, I'm conservative. If there's a chance to win the ball, I will go ahead and take the risk. So I'm just going to quickly switch screens now so you can see a better one without the controller. I'm just going to go through some of the goals that they actually had. So for example, here was his chance. Well, this is my actual chance. As you can see, look, you see how much space he's given. I don't know if you can see this, but look how much space he's given to Mane. You can see the space there. I don't know if this is actually quite visible for you to see, but you see how much space he's given to Mane over there. And this is the issue. You have to weigh the options up in the back of your mind, thinking, okay, if I don't be, see, look, just think about this. If you're defending this, right, watch. As he was defending this, what he should have done is he should have realized, okay, there is a person there in the middle, and he should have man-marked that player. You see, look, this is where every single Tom, Dick, and Harry would want to go. They want to go to the striker, because why? The striker is the easiest way of scoring. So all you have to do, basically, when you're in this situation, you have to either move your CDM. Now, again, you can do two things. You can either cut the passing lane in the middle, but once you cut the passing lane in the middle, you have to make a decision. After, let's say, for example, he moved Nainggolan or Kante here. At that point, you got to make a decision. You know, if, for example, I make the pass, then you win the ball. Great. But if I hold the ball and I don't do anything, at that point, you got to make a decision. You know, do you run towards Blanc and do you close him down? But then I could pass the ball to Lucas and then pass the ball back to Mane and go around him. So you have to weigh the options up. That's why, again, when you run back, you're always running back into the striker. So your CDM will be here. And that way, if he does pass the ball to Lucas, you can then be aggressive with the CDM. You see that? So you can always react. If your opponent passes there, you can react because you're behind the ball. If your opponent passes here, you can react because, again, you're behind the ball. But as you can see, there was no one there marking Mane. So I was basically free. And at that point, you know, I had basically had a shot on goal. You know, it could have very much been a goal. You know, had that been a better shot, it could have been a good goal. Thank God the stadium wasn't goal and it wasn't the best of shots. Again, defending over here. This is not a situation over here. Look, you can see over here. I'm going to change from his perspective. I think he's man marking with I think is he man marking with De Bruyne? I'm not really too sure here. So I think he's man marking with Mahrez. So look, Mahrez, right? Look at the passing lane. The passing lane available is Mane, right? So what he should be doing is, at that point, he should making his player be. I think he's man. So like here, see, he's too late. What he should have been doing in the beginning is he should have realized that there's a passing option from these two, and he should have cut it out in the beginning and forced me to look somewhere else. But you see, he didn't do that. All I had to do was turn. He wasn't following along. See that? He started being aggressive. And then you see, I think this is here when he was aggressive with De Bruyne. You see, he was aggressive with De Bruyne. Mahrez, he didn't recover in time. You see, he didn't recover in time. And then just in that moment, look at the space available. And that is when Mane gets the ball. You see that? Because he's in no man's land, what can Mahrez do? He can't get the ball, and that's it. Simple fake shot around, and it was good. It was a good block in the end, but unfortunately, he got done on deflection. Let's have a look at his shot over. There's another one over here, another one. So again, with a CDM, what I would have probably have done here is I would have done two things. Either one, I would have ran back with the CDM, as I told you before, or this might be a situation to push a centre back forward, just to maybe anticipate the pass, maybe. But then at this point, I would have done the right thing. But again, a fake shot, you can't defend against that. I think he did the right thing though by holding his ground. I think that was the right thing to do. I'll be honest, even though I said be aggressive a bit here, I think for most of you guys here, the right thing to do would be hold the ground. You know, don't be aggressive. He did the right thing here.
But once I do a fake shot, you can't stop that. And that is why the fake shot is so... That's why I explained to you the fake shot's the best skill move. It's so quick. Look, he even knew where I was going to go. He knew. He must have thought Mane was right-footed here. He's most definitely going to go to the right-hand side. But you see, in the process, I pushed the ball. Look, you can see you even overcommitted on the right-hand side. Look, you can see that. But you see, that's how overpowered the fake shot is. And that's how easy it is to get past someone. Now, Dries Mertens over here. Now, again, I made a mistake. I lost the ball. Now, again, now, I don't know. Now, this is what I did here. So, look, again, I lost the ball with Blanc over here. Now, you see, look, in the beginning, at this point, okay, I'm thinking, okay, now I'm in trouble. I've got 3 players in the danger man. I'm looking at Kante. If he wants to pass the ball to Kante, I don't mind. But I can't let him pass the ball to Mertens and De Bruyne. So what I do is I bring a centre-back out of position. Now, this is risky. I'm not saying you should do this. But this is an example, you see. As soon as the pass gets made to Mertens, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm like, you know what? Shoot from here. I don't care. Have a go. Have a go at goal. At the same time, I'm man-marking the pass to De Bruyne, and I'm also applying pressure. You see, I'm doing 3 things, and I'm pushing. See, look, I'm man. See, look. I'm stuck. Let's see, look, I'm man marking. See, look, I'm man marking De Bruyne. You see that? So I'm forcing now. I'll be honest. If he went a bit more forward, it could have been a chance. He could have gone inside the box and probably could have shot. You probably be like, well, hang on, couldn't he have gone there? But yeah, but that's the risk I took, and that's why I use your CDMs here. You see, this is why you don't lose the ball. And this is why I said don't lose the ball in your half. Because look, even here, I had no time to react. I didn't have time to change to my CDM, which would have been the right thing to do and recover. It's because, as you can see, my back 4, look, that's my back 4. But because I'm pushing Trent out of position, now my back 4 is exposed. You see that? So now I only have a back 3. You see that? So watch. See that? Now I basically have a back 3. And what's happened is that my right back, which is Renato Sanchez, he's now had to move forward to fill in the void because my in this case, my Trent is kind of advanced. See that? See how Trent is advanced from the centre back position out forward? But that's just the risk I took. As I said, I took the risk. I knew, for example, here, worst case scenario, I could recover if he did go a bit more forward. But that's just the risk I took. Atal over here. Defended this. Could he done anything? No, I don't think. Maybe he could just defended. Maybe I would have. I can't blame him for that. You know, there's not much you could have done regarding that. And then the final chance over here. This is another example. So when the ball was played over here, again, I'm looking at Griezmann. I'm looking at De Bruyne. I'm thinking, okay, these 2 are the danger man. You know, Nainggolan, I know he's right-footed as well, and you know where Nainggolan is going to shoot on his left foot, but more importantly, on a right foot, he won't shoot. So again, I'm watching these 2 players. So you see, I'm controlling Kante. So again, you can see I'm overcommitting, and I'm watching Griezmann. You see that? I'm watching Griezmann. As soon as the ball gets played now to De Bruyne, I've got to make a decision now. So again, I had to be aggressive, but again, all I'm doing is I'm cutting out his option. You see that? I'm applying a lot of pressure on him, trying to get his composure. And you see, this is why a 5-star weak foot is hard to predict, because look, if he was left-footed, he would have gone down the wing. But with a 5-star weak foot, you can do a drag back and you can turn. This is why a 5-star weak foot is so important. Now, I think maybe you could have done a bit better with a shot. But again, that's the risk I take. It's all about taking risks and basically aligning, you know, what's the chance for it going in. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed part 2. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. If any other questions, do let me know. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy and catch you next time. Peace out, boys.